Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot's Purple Ardifus, and welcome to Buddy Reads, where I read a small selection of a book and review it for you. Today we are covering chapters 10 and 11 of Part 2 of The Dark Tower by Stephen King. I hope you've read up to that point yourself, because I do not want to ruin anything for you. No, seriously. Go read it yourself before I ruin it for you. Really. Go read it. I'm going to spoil things for you. It's going to be very unpleasant for you if I spoil it for you. Go read it now. Then come back and watch and we can discuss. Have you read it? Are you done? Are you all caught up? Okay. We can continue then. Where I left you, Roland had just started eating breakfast with Eddie, Jake, Susanna, and Oi when his friends from the Wizard End Glass had come in through a portal, and what I had forgotten to mention was Shimi was with them and he had pretty much fallen over and started having a seizure. It got really confusing. The conversations that they were having were about, I thought they were about just some other breaker that was trapped in a castle. But what it appeared to be later was Shimi trapped in a castle, so maybe this was a future version of Shimi. I'm really confused about that. I have no idea who they're trying to rescue from this castle, but they are trying to rescue someone. All of his friends are going around and they're figuring out how they are going to go about this, how they are going to go about rescuing this friend of theirs from this castle. And Roland asks if Shimi would be available to help them, and his friends say, of course Shimi's going to be available. Shimi would light himself on fire if you told him to. Shimi would follow you anywhere. And he's like, okay, great. And so what they do is they use Shimi's telepathy, and they use him to send out a message to everyone in the surrounding castle that can hear him that says, move south, put your arms in the air, and you will not get hurt. And this is particularly brilliant because the only people that would be available to hear this message are the breakers themselves. Roland and his friends do not want to hurt the breakers. So they're sending out this message, and as soon as they send out this message, they start a fire at this castle, palace, billionaire mansion place. And all the workers at the place are going batshit crazy, and they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and they're going like, we're gonna die. And all the breakers are slowly standing up, putting their hands above their head, and they are walking south, just as they have been told. Through this kerfuffle, Susanna is on her ATV at the top of a hill, looking down, and for everyone that she sees walking out of the mansion that does not have their hands raised, she assassinates them. Roland, Jake, and I think Eddie is with them too, are on another side, and they're seeing guards walking around without their hands held up high, and they use plates to decapitate them. And it's a burning bloodbath. The masters of this manor are all running around like, you guys are idiots! Just, stay calm, stay indoors, stop moving! And no one's doing what they want because it's mass pandemonium. Eventually, the message gets to Shimi, who is in the castle, who I think is who they are trying to save from the castle, but like a different version than Shimi. So I'm confused. But anyways, it gets to him and he's like, oh joy, they're here to help me, they're here to save me. And he runs by a woman and he says, all is well with the beam, all is well with the beam, all is going to be well. All is not going to be well, my fair readers, all is not going to be well. So Shimi runs out and he runs to his friends and they are all, yay, we saved him. The heads of the manor are walking around in this billow of fiery smoke and everything. And now we come to everyone's favorite part of any of my videos, when my camera malfunctions for one reason or another, and this becomes Buddy Reads the podcast. The smoke is all billowing around, and the heads of the manor are all walking around, and they are trying to get away from the gunslingers. And they see Susanna through, gaps in the smoke. And she almost gets them, but not quite. Eventually, I believe it was Ted and Roland get the heads of the manor and they shoot them in the heart and the chest. They are lying on the ground. Eddie, Susanna, Oi, Jake, and Roland, and they all circle around to have a group hug. And Stephen King takes a long time here. I'm talking about the actual author of the book, not the character Stephen King. The actual author of the book, Stephen King, takes a long time here to tell you that this is the last time that the Pilgrims will ever be a quartet. And soon, their quartet will be broken. They have their hug. They have their freeze frame moment from an 80s film. That's in almost every Stephen King novel these days. I don't know what that is. But they have their moment. And then Eddie has to be a fucking idiot. I'm not kidding. There's just really no other way to put that. And he goes up to one of the heads of the manor. And the head of the manor is just, kind of gurgling. And Eddie has to be a fucking hero right now. He has to be one of those Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, tank top, muscle-bound heroes that has to give the bad guy the last word. And it's a fucking stupid move. Because Eddie gets down there and he lets the guy have his last word. And then Eddie shoots him in the head. Okay, not bad. But he doesn't realize that the other head of the manor is slowly getting up on his elbow. And he doesn't see the other head of the manor slowly pull out his pistol. He hears the click. And he has the reflexes to stop him, but he doesn't do it fast enough. And the guy shoots Eddie in the head. Because Eddie had to be a fucking hero. Eddie had to be the macho hero, and it got him killed. And I'll tell you one thing, BookTube, I called this a long time ago. I called this in the previous book. In fact, Stephen King tells you that this is going to happen in the previous book. He tells you that this is going to happen. Sure, I got a little choked up, but I didn't really cry over this death. I should have cried over this death. I wish that Stephen King didn't telegraph this so fucking much. But he did. And I knew it was going to be Eddie. And now we've basically lost the humor of the quartet. We've basically lost the heart of the quartet. And that sucks. I really liked Eddie. But like I said before, he telegraphed it so much that I have no feeling over this right now. And that sucks because I should have way more feeling over this right now. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you like this video specifically, go ahead and hit the like button. And go ahead and leave a comment letting me know how sad you were when you read that moment. Because I should have been more sad. I should have not seen that coming. I've been Elliot the Purple Hair Doofus. This has been Buddy Reads the Podcast, reminding you to watch your Pajama Radius, and I will see you all in the next section of The Dark Tower by Stephen King. Toodles!